usually calling from Huntsville, Alabama, by way of Seattle. He's actually in Philly right now. He was here last week for the draft. He is he's a recurring guest, of course, and usually covers boxing for us. So we're going to talk a little bit of boxing, but we're going to talk a whole lot of NBA basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Gene Lewis, ladies and gentlemen. Gene Lewis.
Hey, what's going on, Joe? What's going on, Joe? Y'all crazy.
Let's move on. Baby Joe's big stories.
All right.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, NBA free agents as of, I believe, July 1st, if not already. All right. The stories that have come out are, or I'll just put it like this, the narrative that's floating around is that these two are looking to team up somehow. All right? And I'll let you take it from there, Joe.
So the reason I want to talk about this is because there's a lot that's connected to it. All right, and so you're looking at these two players. They were rumored to be really cool and want to follow each other, which didn't make like a lot of sense to me because I didn't think that they would be two players that would be that tight because I've never really seen them interact. But anyway, apparently that is the case. So in the meantime, you're looking at two players. Kyrie has all this baggage, and the reason I say it's baggage is they say he doesn't play well with others. He's temperamental. All this stuff. He leaves Boston, and then there's this rumor that the Nets are supposed to be the front runner for him. In the meantime, you got KD who's doing the rehab post-surgery for his Achilles. And so you kind of have this possible package deal that's kind of going on. And during this time, they've had two meetings, one out west and then one since KD has had his surgery. You can look at KD's situation. He has ties to the Knicks organization because he's the godfather from one of the assistant coaches there. But then the bigger thing to me is that he also had this surgery done by one of the doctors that works directly with the Nets. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what direction he might go.
So they're both in New York now?
They're both in New York now. Kyrie purchased a home. I think it was in was it West Orange? I think it was, or East Orange.
He's from there.
Right, so he purchased a home there. The last I checked, KD supposedly moved.
Wait a minute. How do we know he purchased a home there?
I read this today on Bleacher Report.
Okay, so I'm gonna ignore that. Not ignore that, but I'm not gonna give much weight to that because that's where he's from, and I'm sure his parents and family are still around. So you're not buying. I don't know if you're living in West Orange and then commuting to Brooklyn.
No,
so
but
I think
you could be coming to the area. I mean, it's interesting that over the course of his career, even though he's from there, he never bought a house there.
Right.
And the thing that I'm starting to notice now, like LeBron, when he left Cleveland, what did you see? They're packing everything up, going to Miami. When he left Miami, they showed his luxury cars leaving, and he sold that house, moved back to Cleveland. When people start buying houses, it kind of tells you a little bit about how they're moving. Now, if it's a guy that's normally just buying real estate, that's one thing. But the timing and how it's happening, it tells me that he may not live in East Orange or West Orange. I think it was East Orange.
Oh, he's not living in East Orange.
Yeah, but with that being said,
No.
But with that being said, he's trying to move to this area.
Okay.
Right? And so, and then KD supposedly moved most of his things is here. He's staying in a hotel. And so anyway, all these things are happening at once. So then you start wondering, is he going to go back to Golden State? And they say that the rumors have kind of surfaced that NBA insiders believe that KD is angry at Golden State for the misdiagnosis of his Achilles. There's something a little bit fishy there, because they were saying Steve Kerr says that they didn't think it would, be a catastrophic injury that could come from the previous injury that was a calf injury. And so now it's worse than what they thought. So he may feel some kind of way about that. So just throw all that stuff into the mix. And then you also see that now you have teams supposedly are less willing to sign KD. Other teams. The Knicks, I think, are still interested. I think the Nets are still interested. But when you put it all together, it kind of it's starting to feel like KD and Kyrie probably will be leaning toward the Nets. Report surface on Bleacher Report again, saying that KD, the front runner for KD would be the New York Nets, or New Jersey Nets.
New York Nets.
New York
Brooklyn
Nets.
Nets.
Yeah, you know.
Brooklyn
get
Nets.
confused, but
For KD?
for KD also.
Okay.
All right,
Oh,
so you
KD
got
too.
KD and you have Kyrie. So the question that I want to ask you guys is, where do you see them going? Do you see them going to the Knicks or the Nets? And as a team, do you sign an injured KD and then a Kyrie with whatever issues he has?
Let's go to Gene first.
So I just think KD staying with Golden State, and part of that is, and actually, like we talked about before, Joe and Joey, part of that is because of the relationship that he has with the players there. I mean, those guys really rode for him when the press and media was really coming down on him, talking about how, they're a better team without KD. And so, you heard all those sound bites, but all those guys, backed him up. And basically we're like, he's our best player. We love having him on the team. We're a better team with him on our team. And I definitely think that means something to KD. I think there's been a lot of talk. You hear a lot about, media talking about how sensitive KD is, especially when it comes to things that's said about him in the press. And I think that's going to go far in his decision. Now, will he team up with Kyrie in Brooklyn? I mean, there's a strong possibility. Brooklyn's already said they don't want Kyrie not unless KD is coming. So that's the caveat there with that
really
particular
funny.
situation. So there is no Kyrie going to Brooklyn if KD isn't going with him.
It looks like Kyrie's not going anywhere without KD unless they get KD first, which makes sense to me. If I'm a general manager of the Nets or the Knicks, the only reason I'm touching Kyrie is because KD's making me.
Kyrie's not your marquee player. He's definitely a big-time help.
Yes.
He's Robin.
Yes.
Right? But you also know that Robin, as we know, is a little bit tough to work with when it comes to playing well with others. So if you have somebody there that's
Well,
with him, it
Robin
helps the
is
dynamic.
Robin has trouble being Batman,
Right.
but
okay.
he's proven to be an excellent Robin.
Yo, he's a very good Robin.
Right.
He can be Batman on a given night.
He has, yes,
Yeah.
he has a
Yeah.
chip as Robin.
Right.
Right, and when he was Batman, didn't really work out so well.
But what didn't work out?
Well, him playing
Well,
by
the
himself.
Celtics. Well, let me see.
The first season.
The first season with the Celtics, he got hurt. The Celtics excelled.
but that didn't
he
mean-
came back and they sucked.
No, but all right, he got injured. But before he got injured, they were still playing good. The whole team was playing good. I mean, he was
But they
Batman.
played better
That was-
without him.
Did they play better with? They got to
Yes.
the Western Conference Finals without him.
Well,
You don't
he's-
think they would have gotten there with him? He never got injured. That they were on track to doing the
You
same
don't-
thing.
You don't remember those reports where they were saying that they were having issues, the ball was sticking, they weren't passing the ball around, they weren't playing well together, and guys may not be getting along.
That was the
You know,
second season.
No, that happened first season too.
The first season they gelled. They played together. He got injured. They continued to play good, and they went to the Western Conference Finals. I just feel like I see what happened, and then I see stories, in my opinion. Because the second season, what I did, it's not that I saw Kyrie mess up the team. I saw them initiate Gordon Hayward back into the picture, and they put they put two young players back on the bench after they took that team to the Western Conference Finals.
But you don't think they played better when Kyrie was out?
I think they played team basketball, but I think they played more team basketball,
Which
more
is better or not?
I can't say it's better. Kyrie is ball dominant, but they were still winning, and they still liked each other. That's the number one thing. The second season, that's when they grew in not to liking each other. When Kyrie was there, Gordon Hayward got injured that first game. They still liked each other, even though Kyrie was ball dominant.
Now, there's something going on. Kyrie is moody.
I definitely agree with that.
Mad moody. He doesn't talk to people sometimes. He he feels a certain kind of way.
I'm just arguing the fact that he cannot be Batman. I am not willing to say that line yet, that he cannot be Batman.
What
That's
more
fair.
do you need to see? He was there in Cleveland. He did nothing until LeBron showed up. Then they won the championship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so then he turns around, goes to Boston, and they still don't have enough.
I
And he's the man.
I saw that
I
first
know he
season.
gets injured. I know he gets injured every year
That's true.
significantly.
That's why I would only leave him as a Robin. But the statement of Kyrie cannot be Batman, I just can't get. I can't fully.
Do you think Kyrie Irving can be the number one player on a championship team?
Yes.
Okay.
He can be a Giannis or he can be a Kawhi. Like, you can just send him to a team, takes him to the promised land.
No, I think he needs other pieces. But do I think he should
Kyrie
be the
or
only?
Steph? You got to take one, Kyrie or Steph.
I'm going to say Kyrie, just because of his finishing abilities.
Okay. So he's a true believer.
But see,
What,
this is the
what we
thing.
found out is that he's a true
But
believer.
This is the thing that throws you off with Kyrie. He is a gifted athlete. He is unstoppable going to the rim. Those intangibles, like, oh, he can take anybody.
He's
on
a
the dribble,
phenomenal shooter.
It makes
Don't
you.
forget,
He's a
phenomenal
shooter.
Yeah,
Yes.
but those are the things. When you start looking at the crossovers and he can shoot left and right, like that throws you off, and you're like, oh yeah, I definitely want him over him. But when you look at Kyrie being able to work with the group, I don't really see him being a harmonious leader. And even though he's really good, he's still not Kobe.
All right, so I'm gonna break this argument right here, and then I'm gonna let Gene address it.
Okay.
You're both right. He hasn't had, or you can say, Jason can say fairly that he hasn't had the opportunity to prove that he is not a viable number one on a championship team. Okay? He's also right in that we've had enough of a sample size to know that he's not a leader, and that when he is the number one guy on a team, the team actually has not done well. Except for what you're saying is half a season in Boston before he got hurt, and that wasn't even half a season. So you both are a little bit right. Gene, what do you think?
I'm sorry, Jerry. Go ahead.
I was asking, what do you think? Jason says that Kyrie hasn't had a chance or hasn't proven that he is not a true number one for a championship team. And Joe says that he has proven that he's not a number one for a championship team.
I think Kyrie's definitely had opportunities to prove whether or not he's a number one. The problem is that in the opportunities that he's had, the only time that we've ever really seen him shine is when he played in Cleveland. When he had an opportunity to be the number one guy in Boston, I mean, we saw what happened. You know, he was basically, outplayed by the guys the younger guys who almost took the same team, to the Eastern Conference Finals, and almost was basically a couple plays away from going to the NBA Finals. So, right there, it kind of tells you where he is in terms of his leadership ability. So that's where I stand with the whole Kyrie thing. I don't think Kyrie. I think Kyrie's an excellent player. I just don't think he's clutch.
Well, I think he's clutch. I'm going to go with you. I don't think he's a good leader, and that goes a long way.
And he has to
and
understand
that's kind of the separator.
Yeah, he has to understand that. Like, everybody's not meant to be that number one leader. Just you're elite, top 15 probably in the game. If you really start looking at
one of the greats of all time.
I can definitely go with that. But
Can I bring up something?
Yeah.
So this past season, in the middle of the season, if you remember, Kyrie actually reached out to LeBron James and apologized because and said to him that it's not as easy to be a leader as he thought. And he said that he thought he could just go to another team. He could just do this leadership thing. So in my opinion, that's humbleness, and you're showing awareness and you're acknowledging the fact that, hey, this isn't as easy as I thought. So it's like, all right, I believe that he has the skill level. I'm not arguing that his leadership skills have suffered. So maybe, I think you definitely need to have leadership skills to be the number one guy on a team. I think that goes into being the number one guy in a championship level team. But this Celtics, it wasn't like Kyrie was the only thing that was different from the first year he was there, from the last year he was there. Everyone was different. All moods and attitudes were different on this team. From Terry Rozier, his attitude was different. Jason Tatum, Jalen, what's the other guy?
Jalen Brown.
Jalen Brown, his attitude. These attitudes, these moods, they were all different on the team. They all contributed to how each other reacted. You had Jason Tatum. He wanted to. You saw how much he was controlling the ball that second season. He came back with a lot of confidence. You had Jalen Brown. He was coming off the bench. His confidence probably went down. Terry Rozier had to come in after off the bench after Kyrie. His confidence probably went down. And I'm not agreeing with any of those moves. That was a coach's moves at the end of the day. But it just can't always all that to fall on Kyrie, I can't blame him because he did acknowledge that it was hard.
I'm blaming him. I'm blaming him because like
He made the move.
calling LeBron is making my point. He thought he could be the man, and he went to Boston. And he realized, yo, this junk is hard, dude. I apologize for giving you a hard time because this ain't all it's cracked up to be. I would love, in so many words, I wouldn't mind playing with you again. Like this
So
is
do you think
really hard to do.
Do you think he can develop some of those leadership qualities?
Sometimes you can't really teach an old dog new tricks.
But he's
He's
not,
not
really
old
an old dog.
In a way, he kind of like Kyrie's setting his.
I
ways.
get you, but maybe a 32, 33-year-old Kyrie.
Well, he don't have much longer before it's like his time is like running out. You hit about 35, you starting to like.
Well, his
slide
problem
out
is
here.
not that. His problem is once you hit 30, 31, and you can't keep getting these injuries every season because it'll stop. It'll end you.
That's the number
The
one thing.
fact
I think
is,
that's the problem. The injuries.
That team in Boston played better when he wasn't around. He wasn't in the game.
Right.
They swung the ball better. They
And the
shared
other
ball, they
the other
took the right
fact
shots.
is the Cavs were never good with Kyrie as their
Never.
number one player.
Never.
They continued to head back to the top of the lottery.
Right.
Over and over again.
That's right.
Not
Those are
even
2 or 3
just
straight
not
years.
even just like barely missed the playoffs. Not even like 9, 10. They were constantly going back to the top of the lottery.
He got his numbers, 25, 30
Right.
a night and whatever else, but it just never amounted to anything besides an all-star berth for him.
He was
All
an
right, so let's
offensive
look
player
at
from
this.
New Jersey.
Let's look at this from the Knicks and the Nets perspective.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you take that package deal right now if you're the Nets?
I
Kyrie
do.
and KD.
Right, and this
I
is
do.
without D'Angelo.
I
if
do.
if that were to happen.
You know why I do it? I do it because I'm trying to think of the next free agents that are going to be available, right?
Right.
And this is your chance to get them under your umbrella. You let Kyrie.
So we're talking about one player with a 6'11" player with a torn Achilles, and we're talking about a 6'2" player who's always injured and has all of the issues that we just spoke with. That could go the wrong way fast, no?
It could, but remember, it was just last year. You're saying without D'Angelo, so that could be a little bit different. But just last year, that young core was able to make a nice little playoff
Right.
run, and they have a very
They did
good
well.
player
They did
development.
well the previous year without D'Angelo also.
Right. So you're looking at a baseline there where they're actually pretty good, and I expect them to get better.
Right.
But what you're doing now is you're taking a gamble to put icing on the cake. Not this year, but the following year. Because I don't really know. It reminds me a little bit of the Pistons. I don't know how easy it will be for the Nets to just have a free agent just come walking in off the street. And I don't even know who's available.
Right, and the other dynamic is the Knicks versus Nets rivalry and their competition for actual fans
Right.
and dollars.
Right.
Because that's actually a real thing.
Right.
So anything that the Nets could do to get fans is major. So if you have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds are now more likely to become Nets fans and, going, on into their lives and generations coming behind them than they are to be Knicks fans
You develop
that
your
don't have
youngsters.
those two stars.
Develop those youngsters, do what you did last year or better, and you add those two to the mix, and you can be looking at something that's really good or great, perhaps.
All right, let's talk about some of these free agents and where's their best fit. All right, quick. This is going to be a quick. We're going to go around the table on each one.
Got it.
All right. Okay. Let's start with Kevin Durant. Best fit for Kevin Durant with his current situation, Jason.
I think the Knicks. I think I think that's the second best. I apologize. I think he should just stay with the Warriors.
Okay. Opt in, take the 1 year with the Warriors, and then.
Yes.
But then he's going to become a free agent with no.
I'd say
with no way. Hold on. With no what? No.
With no like
it's KD.
2019, 2020 season.
now I say opt out, and if they really want me, they'll match
Re-sign me.
Right. If they don't want to do that, then you can look to maybe make another move because that shows they don't have confidence
Right.
in you. But I would say Golden State would be the best place for him because he knows the system. The guys
Yeah.
like him. And after this kind of happened, I really think that they'll probably have a bond. Even though I'd see the Nets as a possibility, I would say Golden State most likely.
Right. Now, what if Golden State wants to sign other players? I re-sign their other players.
well,
Clay,
that's the thing.
Draymond, Boogie.
Well, that's
Are you going to take Durant to sit out for a year over I don't know, Draymond or whoever else you got to let go to fit Kevin Durant back in.
And this is where he'll get to see how valuable he is. Like, if he's valuable to them, I'm not going back opting into a 1-year deal. I want to see that you all want to have confidence in me. And if they don't and they want to go another route, then you make your move.
All right, Gene, what do you think? Best fit for Kevin Durant?
Best situation for Kevin Durant is Golden State, in my opinion. I think he has the best opportunity to win there. He definitely fits within that culture of the team. They love playing with him. I think going to New York or going to Brooklyn is just basically starting over. And at this stage of his career, do you really want to go ahead and start over again? Or would it not be a better situation to stay where you are and continue to make a run for championships?
Okay. So Gene, you're coming in a little bit low. I don't know if you're not speaking directly in there. We heard what you said, but just let you know that you're a little bit low. So when we come back to you, if you could just be a little bit louder. Now, in my opinion, the best fit for Kevin Durant is the New York Knicks.
Yeah, typical.
I was thinking the same thing.
Said nobody's going to the Knicks. He said it. He said nobody's going.
And then what did Tim say?
Tim said that y'all only get Tobias Harris. So Tobias Harris is coming.
I can't wait till Tobias Harris signs with the Lakers so I can rub that one in Tim's face. Because that's probably going to happen. That's likely. All right? Much more likely than him signing with the Knicks. Why do I think Kevin Durant should go to the Knicks? Because, as a Knicks fan, I'm not 100% comfortable with signing a guy on the Achilles, coming off of an Achilles injury. Mm-hmm. The only solace that I take is that he is young enough to actually recover from it, and expecting for him to not ever return to 100%, I'll take a 75. I will take a 6'11", power forward, stretch 4, that's going to get me 8, 9, 10 rebounds from the 4 spot, and that's going to stretch the floor and still be a go-to scorer. If he turns into Dirk, I'm happy with that.
He's got a lot of tricks in the toolbox.
He's got a lot of tricks in the toolbox.
Different from the one-trick ponies that he hurts himself.
So
he's done.
no, so he's not handling the ball 90 feet.
Nah.
But if he's handling the ball in a short space situation, going to his spots and just taking his 2-3 dribbles to get the shot
That's
off,
it. Catch and shoot.
Right. I will take that.
Yeah.
And the Knicks' glaring hole right now is one player on the front line. And that would be great if their glaring hole is a superstar and one player on the front line. If you can combine those two, awesome. Kevin Durant happens to be that. Don't know if he's going to return as a superstar, but
I hope he can.
On a 4-year deal, I can wait that out if I'm getting 20 and 8 shooting at 50%, which is something that he can do
and
on one leg.
On one leg.
I can see that.
If the Knicks miss the playoffs this year, that's in your favor too.
Right.
So you get to let your
and
young
who knows with
play.
the way this lottery is, we might get number 1 and being the 12th team.
Here we go.
Here we go again.
Here we go.
All right, Gene. Kawhi Leonard, where's the best fit?
LA Clippers. He's a Clippers. I keep telling you guys, he is not going to stay in Toronto. Just bought that house in LA, $10 million home. He's going to the Clippers.
Jason.
Yeah, I would have to say the Clippers too. I just feel like that's where he wants to be, so that's the best fit for Kawhi. But we don't know too much about Kawhi. He's the quietest person that I've ever.
His laugh ain't quiet.
Yeah, that's the only that's not quiet. So where I think the better question is where's not a good fit for Kawhi, because I feel like he could sort of play anywhere. Right. He just plays so
Kawhi's going to the
comfortably.
Clippers. I'm sorry, Toronto. It was a good run.
You think that was the best fit
for the Clippers?
For Kawhi?
I do think so.
Okay.
Great owner, great coach, a lot of young talent there. You saw what they did without a superstar. Perfect for him. And he kind of gets to go home.
Yep. Great GM.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
For me, the best fit for Kawhi Leonard is probably the New York Knicks.
Oh, my goodness. The Knicks.
See, this is what happens when you have all-star voting, right?
Yeah.
Guys right here that keep voting for all the Knicks. Everything is not about the Knicks.
It's really the perfect situation. He steps right in. He plugs some holes.
Oh, boy.
will be great.
This
He's
is
on the front
this
line.
is
You know
such
what I mean?
this is
Like,
such
He's on
a
the front line.
this is such vague talk. We plug some holes. But
You know what I mean?
you got,
Hey.
of course, you got holes.
We
You
win
telling us something we
games.
already know.
Superstar front line.
Hit jump shot.
How about
It worked.
James Dolan,
All right.
the most corrupt
Actually-
owner? We don't even
actually,
fine
the
getting
best-
fined.
This is why they got banned from coming to the
Yeah.
because of that type of comment.
Actually, the best fit for Kawhi is the Toronto Raptors
Okay.
because the team already has chemistry built around him. All right, and he has proven that everyone in the Eastern Conference, until I don't know what the adjustment Giannis is going to make to come back, but the landscape is set now for Kawhi to return to the finals a few times in a row, and I believe that he needs to do that. Well, he doesn't need to do it as much as Toronto needs to do it, but his legacy would be definitely solidified by going on a good 3-4 year run, multiple finals appearances with the Toronto Raptors.
What if he can go to the Clippers and win a championship there? He
That
could
would
just
be
get
huge.
One there.
If
And
he
that's
had a
legacy.
championship for the Raptors and then one for the Clippers, he
Yeah.
becomes a top 5 all-time player.
I mean, that's
3 different finals, 3 finals.
And by the way, I'm already ranking him over Kobe, by the way, as of this point. But we're not going to get into that.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
his blood pressure just went up.
My heart
All right.
just hit my knees.
Next one, Kemba Walker. Gene, Kemba Walker.
Kimber Walker, I suspect that he is going to end up. You guys might laugh at me, but I think he's going to end up in Dallas. It said I was reading the Bleacher Report, and that Dallas Mavericks really want him to play with Luka Doncic and Porzingis down in Dallas. They feel like he'd be a great fit for them. So I could see him going to Dallas. I don't think he's going to re-sign with Charlotte. I think he wants to win. So I could see him, making a run with Dallas.
Okay. Kemba Walker.
I didn't hear that report, but I like the way that fits. I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. I like Kemba Walker. I don't think it's going to happen, but I like him going to the Spurs. I think he'll be a good fit in that backcourt with DeMar DeRozan. And then you have Aldridge at the 4. So I like him. I like him over there.
That is kind of intriguing as
Yeah.
far as like a scoring punch at the 1.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I think.
Or he would probably play the 2 most likely. Because they have Murray.
No, they got.
DeJounte Murray as the point guard.
Oh, okay, but they got DeRozan at the
doesn't
2. They got DeRozan at the 2.
DeRozan can do 3.
He could do 3.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
interesting. I just kind of see. I could see Kemba going to the Knicks. I could see that. I don't know if that's the best fit because I don't even think y'all need Kemba, but I got a sneaky feeling he could end up back in Charlotte because he can get that max, that 200, was it 30, 40 million?
Right.
I feel
If
like
he ends
MJ.
back in Charlotte, he's taking dollars and he'll never win.
But MJ said he's not paying that. If there's
And if that's the case, if he wants him to take a cut, he's out. So
Yeah.
I would probably the Lakers. I can see him going. If the Lakers can get enough money for him, they could probably get him. If the Lakers can't pay him because he's going to want to get paid.
All right, I got you right here.
What?
Best fit for Kemba Walker.
What?
L.A. Clippers. Kemba as the 2. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander as the point. Right, with them two being very interchangeable.
What about Beverly?
Big point. Beverly comes off the bench and gives you the exact same thing he gives you now. Right? Your big point guard, Shea, your small 2 guard, Kemba, that works perfectly because Kemba can guard the point, Shea can guard the 2, and he can do that and not compromise his game and not really change the way he plays at all.
Mm-hmm.
The only question there is not Patrick Beverly, it's Lou Williams. Because that's who he would be replacing. So I don't really know if the Clippers want to do that. Because I don't really think that Kemba is going to give you much more than what Lou gives you.
I like Lou. I stick with Lou.
yeah, I like Lou too.
Yeah, Lou,
Okay.
Lou's nasty.
By the way, he just won.
Lou
He just
and
won
Kawhi?
6th man of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lou and Kawhi.
I meant to update that. Luka Doncic, the NBA Rookie of the Year,
So he didn't share the award.
did not share the award.
Gene.
Pascal Siakam, the most improved player.
Yes.
And I believe that is all I have right
You
now.
gotta ask Eugene about this thing with Luca because he kind of thought that they should share. Luca should share the award with Trey.
Trey?
Nah, I don't think.
No. We'll get to that. But other news that just flashed: Tiger Woods was being sued in a wrongful death lawsuit. A restaurant that he owned, one of the employees was killed, I believe, in a car accident, and they sued named Tiger Woods in the lawsuit because he owned the restaurant. So usually, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is you drink in a restaurant and they let you leave drunk.
Right. Or they give
you're
you one
liable.
too many.
But here's the kicker: they dropped Tiger Woods from the lawsuit, but guess who is still being sued? Tiger Woods' girlfriend,
yeah.
who actually runs the restaurant.
Yeah, his girlfriend. Right.
Come on, Tiger. Come on, Tiger. So I get it. I mean, and that looks to me like it's your
How
girl,
much are they
and
suing for?
I don't know, but he's got a lot of millions.
You may as well settle out.
Right, but they took him off of it, but the restaurant is there, and he owns the restaurant.
He's still
So
gonna pay.
there's right. That's interesting, but it's weird because it's like that's just one of them things where you're dating her and you happen to be very wealthy, and this is what she wants to do for fun, or that's her dream, and you just give it to her. So that's kind of what it looks like to me.
But I'm trying to understand how somebody was it a car accident or something with the person?
I
that
believe
killed?
so.
So I'm assuming alcohol must have been involved.
I don't know. I only
Yeah,
saw it
no-
flash across the screen. Gene, do you know anything about it?
Well, yeah. The issue was that this was a particular customer that goes into their bar quite a bit, and some of the other patrons are in that area that have actually stated that he comes in there. The gentleman drank quite a bit, and so oftentimes they would keep him from getting too much to drink. It just so happened that that particular night he had requested more alcohol, and then they gave it to him, and then he ended up passing away as a result of his alcohol level. So they're saying that basically that I'm trying to think of the term, the legal term for a situation like that.
Oh, it's liable. So I worked in the restaurant business and know this particular thing as a general rule. You cannot serve someone who's already drunk. If they come in drunk, you can't serve them. If they get drunk at your bar, you have to stop serving them. Or you
Right.
are liable if they leave your establishment and they cause harm. So, yeah, this is one of the first times I've seen it actually happen this way or end up this way. But that is a rule that most restaurants know and understand. You just don't serve someone who's already drunk.
Right. So now I got the term. So it's a part of tort laws. Negligence is what they're being sued for.
Right.
Being negligent and allowing this gentleman to continue to drink, knowing his history of alcoholism.
Right. And I'm guessing this took place in Florida.
It did in
Of
Florida,
course it did.
exactly. Did I say Cocoa Beach?
Florida.
I want to say.
You're right. Anything crazy happens, your first guess should be Florida. Always. All right. The next free agent on our list is Kyrie Irving. Best fit for Kyrie Irving, Gene?
The best fit for Kyrie is probably going to be New York, because it doesn't look like he's going to get to go to Brooklyn if Kevin Durant's not going with him.
Knicks? No. We don't want him. But okay.
I'm
Best
going
fit for Kyrie.
for Lakers. I say he goes back under LeBron's wing again. Anthony Davis is there. It provides him the best opportunity to win more championships if that's what he's trying to do. He can get his Robin on, have amazing games, and then also get to play with somebody else that'll be a pressure release valve. It's actually perfect because LeBron doesn't want to have to play every single night, score a whole bunch of points. So they can kind of play together and work together. And I think having played before, they'll be straight.
All right. I want to take this one from Gene, and I'm going to say Dallas. He'd be number one-ish, but not really. There's not a whole bunch of young stars that he's going to deflate. It's only one.
That's Luca's team.
And right, exactly. Batman and Robin. Every great passer needs a great scorer.
But Carlisle's a micromanager on the court. I don't see him being able to, like, yeah, Kyrie, I want you to bring the ball up the court, dribble 10 times, come off the screen. Like, he runs plays, and Kyrie doesn't play like that.
Yeah.
Kyrie's ball dominant.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, Kyrie
Right.
can play most places. He just needs, like I said, somebody else with him.
As a Knicks fan, I'm not at all excited about prospects of Kyrie Irving joining the Knicks, even as a tandem, because I believe Joe's theory. I just don't believe he's a number one. He's injury prone, and I just don't see enough of players around him playing well.
Yeah.
Which is important, and obviously he's not going to be there when we need him most.
I think Kyrie best fit. I agree with you guys in terms of leadership quality is very poor. I think he's just one step away from that, from being able, the word lead is a bad word, but I'm gonna have to go with it to lead a team. So I'm gonna say I like the fit with the Lakers. I truly do when it comes to the group of names that will be put together. I like that. But I think Kyrie needs to go to a team where they don't already have his position taken. And that's why I don't like him with the Nets. I don't support it because I like D'Lo there. I like what they already established. I want to see Kyrie with the Clippers because I like their coaching. I like the staff that they have in place, and I think they have structure already put in place. So he's not looking to recreate it. He's just looking to be plugged in. All he has to do is play now. He don't have to worry about anything else. But I think he'll fit well with the LA Lakers. I think he'll be a good fit with the Clippers. If he had leadership capabilities, I would even want to see him go to I would like to see him do like a rebuild with a team like the Bulls. But I don't think
you know where he would fit. You know
Yeah,
where
he's not
he would
patient, I don't
fit,
think.
but I doubt they even have the cap room or even going to be in play. I would love to see him on the Bucks.
Oh, that's nice.
That's where he doesn't have to be the number one,
He
but
would
he
take
looks
Bledsoe.
like the number
Yeah.
one.
Take
Right.
Bledsoe's
He will
place.
look like a number
Yeah.
one, even though he's not the number one, because Giannis is going to be doing everything else.
And that would take so much pressure off.
Right,
him.
and he can
Yeah.
just go score. He doesn't have to worry about who's getting the ball and who's not getting the ball, because Giannis is going to take his ball off the rebound.
Bledsoe will become sixth man of the year.
Anyway, so all right, D'Angelo Russell, Gene,
Yes, sir.
what do you think about D'Lo?
I really see D'Lo going to Phoenix for some reason. I just feel like Phoenix would be a really good fit for him.
Okay, I was leaving Phoenix out. I would like Kyrie on Phoenix also, but
I saw some reports that he's thinking about going back to the Lakers. I don't think that's true. I like to see him stay right there with the Nets and continue building
Yeah.
what he's building. I like him.
I did hear that rumor of D'Lo to the Lakers. I don't know why after the way that ended, they didn't bring him right back. I don't know, but I would like to see him. I'm gonna sound like Joey a little bit. I would like to see him play in Detroit with the Pistons.
bam.
I don't know
Okay.
if we can afford him though.
Right.
But he'd be great because he's a good passer. He can hit open shot. That's what we need. We have a lot of bigs. We need somebody to.
So why did you pass on all the other point guards, Kemba and D'Angelo Russell
really
and
Kemba as exactly. Well, Kemba would be good to have, but I don't look at Kemba as a distributor per se. I'm not saying he's not willing to distribute. But I
Okay.
look at him as more of a scorer.
okay,
And I feel like Kemba, being at this stage of his career, he wants a lot of money, and we can't afford him.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrence Ross, Gene.
Oh, I know this.
Yes, sir. This is one of my favorite picks. He's a Washington guy. So I like to see Terrence Ross actually play for the Lakers. He'd be to give him that scoring punch, that third option, because he's a phenomenal scorer. He was their best player for Orlando in the playoffs. So I would love to see him go there.
All right, Jason, what do you think about Terrence Ross?
I think he's a good player. I don't see it. I don't see him as a difference maker. I think he is, but I'm not. There's no disrespect there.
What kind of contract do you think he's going to get?
I don't
He's
know.
going to end up in that Evan Turner, Alan Crabb range for sure. 16,
Yeah, 18,
17,
20
20 a
million.
year.
It depends on what he wants to do. If he's trying to win a championship, he'll go with the Lakers, take less. If he wants to make that money,
This
then he's
dude
gonna
needs
go
to make his
someplace
money
else.
because he
Yeah.
hasn't made money yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he needs to make
But
his
man,
money.
He's a knockdown shooter. That guy can play.
He played all 81 games for Orlando last year, 26 minutes per, but he only shot 43%, albeit 38% from three. Chipped in with 3.5 rebounds, 1.7 assists. So I see him in the Allen Crabb, Evan Turner range, probably a little bit better. And I see where that would be a good fit for the Lakers because it probably makes sense for the Lakers to get 2 or 3 guys like this instead of one one
Agreed.
guy. Right. All right. Jimmy Butler, Gene.
He's re-signing with Philly.
Okay. What do you think, Jason? Best fit for Jimmy Butler?
I didn't give this one too much thought. I'm not
He's
sure.
on the list. He wasn't on the list, so I just added that in there.
I don't know. I like him on the Sixers. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
All right.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the Sixers is the best place for him. I envisioned him in L.A. because I thought that 3-headed defensive monster would be amazing. They'd have to address the point guard position because they need
Yeah.
somebody to distribute the ball, even though LeBron loves to handle the rock. But yeah, I see him going back to Philly.
I say Lakers is the absolute undisputed best fit for Jimmy Butler. It's the best way for him to get to a championship, and everything that he brings to the table would actually help that team and be used. The problem with LeBron a lot of times is all your skills can't be used when you're playing with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So you really put some skills on the back burner to play with LeBron. But a player like Jimmy Butler, who has proven that he's been the second or third guy pretty much all his career, so he's used to that, and he's used to being able to turn it on when he's needed and still being able to let others shine while he sits in the background. On defense, he's going to be a star the whole time.
Yep.
Okay? So LeBron, Jimmy Butler, and Anthony Davis as a defensive threesome is going to be very problematic. And you have so much flexibility with the other 2 players on the court because the other 2 players on the court could be both small. They could be both bigger because worst case scenario, Anthony Davis can go all the way down to 3. You know what I mean? You can go 1 small and 1 big. So those 3 together provide a lot of flexibility in terms of what lineups can use. And like I said, defensively, Anthony Davis and Jimmy Butler are going to cause a lot of problems for teams. One on the perimeter, one protecting the rim. And truth be told, Anthony Davis can guard on the perimeter too. So, and then LeBron can guard on the perimeter and also protect the rim. So defensively, it's a perfect fit, and I also believe offensively is a perfect fit, and I believe you can take any other 9 players that you want and add to those 3, and that's the best team in the Western Conference.
Jimmy's never had the chance to play with 2 All-Stars like this. He's always played on a team most of the time
Right.
outside of Philly where he had to have the whole team on his back and
Right.
carry him.
Well,
So
the Bulls' best years, Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah was really good for a year.
But I'm really interested in seeing how he'll react playing with a LeBron and an AD, like, and you just can come out there and play a little more like carefree basketball with people with a high
Right.
IQ.
All right. 2 more guys. Klay Thompson, Gene.
He's re-signing with Golden State.
Okay.
Yeah, he's re-signing with Golden State. in my
Golden State,
opinion.
max deal.
Yep.
I saw an article that came out about the Hawks looking to make a splash
Fake news.
and offering Clay Vaughn all the money.
It would be a good thing for them to do that, but
I can't see that dude leaving the West Coast.
there's no way. He
Yeah,
is
nah.
West Coast.
Where did he go to college?
Hold up. Where did Clay go to
Oregon
college?
State? Did he go to? He went to
Gene,
Washington State.
Do you know where he went to college?
No, he went to Washington
Washington
State.
State.
He went Cougar.
Right.
Washington
Right.
State. He went
So
to
he's
Cougar.
West Coast all day.
But that's the perfect place for him because, like, playing along Steph, they play well together. I mean, I can't picture him in another uniform besides maybe a Lakers uniform.
Right,
But
and
I
he
think-
can't get more money elsewhere.
I think the Hawks have that same idea though with Trae Young, because Trae Young comes to the NBA. They're saying, oh, he could shoot the ball.
Right.
Like Steph, he has the range. Like Steph, obviously he can't shoot the same, but he has the range. I think they're thinking that same idea of what they're trying to set up.
Right. All right. One last one. Patrick Beverly. Hold on a second. I didn't tell you where I thought Clay would be a best fit.
Okay.
The New York Knicks.
Okay.
There is no doubt about it. He could be the 2. He could be the 3. He could be both of them. We're going to use him like Reggie Miller, run the offense through him, run around your screens. We're waiting for you when you come off the screen. As soon as you get daylight, it's in your hands. Go ahead, get you 20, 25 shots a game, brah.
Knicks will run him into the ground. He have another Achilles turn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Clay, Kawhi, KD, Kemba, Kyrie, New York Knicks. That's the starting 5.
I can't.
All right. What'd you say the other
Can't.
day about what's in my cup? You said something the other day about what's in my cup.
That's why you don't have a cup today.
Yeah, clearly something ain't right.
All right. Patrick Beverly, Gene.
LeBron wants him in the Lakers uniform.
That's
So
yeah.
if he can get Patrick Beverly, Terrence Ross as your 2 guard, and you got Anthony Davis and LeBron, then your starting lineup, that's a championship team right
And I
there.
would still
they're
keep
all good
Rondo, too,
defensively.
on that.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Do they still have Beasley?
Beasley got sent out of here during the season.
I think he's playing for Marbury.
Yeah, they got He might be in the big 3 by now. He got sent out of here. He didn't even make it through the season. They just sent him home. They're like, somebody in HR would like to have a talk with you. Have you checked your emails?
Oh, no, he didn't get to call the HR, did he?
Yeah, that's what I think happened.
Oh, my
He didn't
goodness.
even make it. He didn't make it back.
Oh.
That was it.
That's
Oh,
funny.
man.
Patrick, I don't anywhere that needs a 6-man, anywhere that needs like just a tough person. I like to see him go to a team that is relevant because he is fun to watch in the playoffs.
Okay.
I don't know if he's fun to watch. He's interesting to watch. I do have the perfect place for him, though.
Where?
He is so New York.
Hey, I was just about to say,
Just
the perfect fit for Patrick Beverly is as the New York Knicks assistant head coach.
It's just like you snatched him off the playground somewhere and just brought him right from Rucker Park and then put it right in Madison Square Garden.
Patrick Beverly might mess around and start going to the playgrounds just to get some action.
Yeah, he might. He
I mean,
might.
like a
Right.
Nate Robinson, he's just gonna bounce around place to place.
And Nate should be in the league.
But you know what? Patrick Beverly is not bouncing around because wherever he goes, his value is realized.
Nate Robinson too, his value was realized.
Nobody gave Nate the right chance.
He's like a minute.
His
Nobody
team,
gave
the,
him the
the
right
staff didn't. I feel like his teammates always appreciated him.
Right. But then people look at his height.
Nate Robinson?
Yeah, people
Yeah.
looking at his height
know what
and they
happened to
judge
him,
him
right?
on his height without letting him play.
You know who's a player killer? Larry
Brown.
Nate Robinson, he's involved with that. Steph not playing, he's overseas somewhere, he's involved with that. Darko Milicic, he broke him before he had a chance
Right.
to possibly do something decent. Like, Larry Brown will get you blackballed in this league, and I don't know how he's doing it, but a lot of guys that should
He's
be
the
playing
worst.
are not
I cannot
playing.
stand a coach that cannot adjust to his players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard Marbury describe how he tried to make Marbury and other, great point guards on that Olympic team
Try to turn him into Eric Snow.
Into Eric Snow. You know what I'm saying? And it was Marbury's mother was like, yo, they don't need those plays. Marbury's mother had to tell him, like, they don't need those plays.
Pass the ball 3 or 4
What are
times.
you doing? Why
Ball should
are
touch
you
everybody's
stopping?
hands.
Think about stopping Steph from doing what Steph does and telling Steph to bring the ball up, pass it to the wing, and then wait for it to come back to you. And not using, and I used to give Larry Brown so much credit for unleashing Iverson and not trying to pigeonhole Iverson into the point guard position. I felt that was genius and really forward thinking that he allowed Iverson to be a 2 guard next to a big point guard. But I guess that was a fluke because he immediately went back to his North Carolina ways.
Yeah, man, that guy.
Yep. All right.
Oh, sixth man of the year. Did we talk about that?
No, let me guess. I'm not looking. Sixth man of the year. Lou Williams.
Yes.
I-
Your
I-
boy was on the list though. Montrezl was
Montrezl.
on the list.
We're gonna
and,
have
Demontis Sabonis was on there.
Didn't all them dudes get traded by the Rockets?
Yeah, all from the Rockets.
I don't know what whatever was in your cup last week is still in your system. I don't know what's in your cup right now, but I definitely said this about 10 minutes earlier on the show. It had to be like 15 minutes earlier on the show.
On what show? This show?
This show, I just said
Today?
the sixth man of the year was Lou Williams.
Well, I just asked, and then nobody said that. I said, did we talk about the sixth?
Well, he started talking, and it's not polite to interrupt people when they start a sentence.
Oh, you got to get in. We about to mess up. I thought I was breaking news.
You did though. We're gonna cut your section out for that.
All right.
Ooh, yeah.